Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first general session of the 62nd Annual Texas TSA State Virtual Conference. Together Towards Tomorrow. Texas TSA hopes all of its members have been safe during this past year. Although this year has looked different than imagined, we here at Texas TSA are excited to bring you this year's Texas TSA State Conference. Your Texas TSA State Officer team has been hard at work to bring you this virtual conference so that you, the students, can compete, socialize, and elect your future officer team of this great organization. Let's meet your 2020-2021 State Officer Team. Your 2020-2021 Sergeant at Arms from West Texas, Haley Rutson. Your 2020-2021 State Reporter from Sugar Land, Texas, Haley Nycom. Your 2020-2021 State Treasurer from Sugar Land, Texas, Millen Mizra. Your 2020-2021 State Secretary from Cypress, Texas, Kaylee Nidget. Your 2020-2021 State Vice President from Cypress, Texas, Savio Lee. Your 2020-2021 State President from Bryan, Texas, Caroline McCall.
Thank you. Will the 63rd Annual Texas TSA State Virtual Conference please come to order? Madam Sergeant at Arms, are all officers present and in their places?
Yes, they are, Madam President.
Will the Assembly please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? Madam Sergeant at Arms, please lead the Assembly in the pledge to the flag of the United States of America.
Will the Assembly please note that the phrase, "one nation under God," is meant to be said without a pause. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Madam Sergeant at Arms.
Present. The symbol of my office is the hearty handshake, and it is my responsibility to see that the Assembly is comfortable and properly welcomed. It is also my duty to serve as doorkeeper for this organization.
Madam Reporter.
Present. The symbol of my office is the beacon tower, and it is my duty to see that our school, community, and state association have a complete report of our organization's activities.
Madam President.
Present. The symbol of my office is the gavel. The duties vested in me by my office are to preside at all regular and special meetings of this organization and to promote cooperation in carrying out the activities and work of our organization. Madam Secretary.
Present. The symbol of my office is the pen, and it is my responsibility to see that accurate and proper records are kept of all business and correspondence of this association. Mr. Treasurer.
Present. The symbol of my office is the balanced budget, and it is the duty of my office to keep accurate records of all funds and to see that our financial obligations are met promptly.
Mr. Vice President.
Present. The symbol of my office is the star. It is the duty of my office to see that we always have a strong membership, good work program, and are alert to the welfare of our association.
Madam President, all officers are present and in their places.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Madam Sergeant at Arms, do we have any guests present?
Yes, Madam President. We have one esteemed guest. Mr. Eddie Slawakowski is our keynote speaker this year. 3 minutes and 58 seconds. That is the amount of time it took Eddie Slawakowski to run the mile. Whether it's as a gold medal winner for the USA track and field team, a 3-time NCAA All-American, or the world's most dynamic professional speaker, Eddie knows a thing or two about peak performance. Through years of training as an athlete and running his own speaking business, he knows what it takes to be elite. Eddie has always had the can-do spirit of an entrepreneur in all walks of life. Best of all, Eddie can channel that sense of accomplishment through interactive storytelling to audiences everywhere. He can make you laugh, cry, dance, and learn, all in one presentation. Through storytelling and high-energy showmanship, Eddie shows participants how to follow through on a vision from inception to achievement, and how to create positive energy for yourself and others. It's time to match who you are with who you want to be. Create peak performance to attain the attitude of be that now. So let's now welcome Mr. Slawakowski to our virtual contest.
The year was 1958. And as Elvis fever was sweeping America, a new student association was formed, the American Industrial Arts Student Association. This association was formed because there was now a need for training and growth and development in technology and engineering. Because as our world was changing, so too were school curriculums all across America. Because there was now a demand for these students that could take us into the future. And every year, this organization, this association was gaining momentum, gaining popularity, and gaining membership. Until we got to the year 1988. And in 1988, they decided to change the name to the Technology Student Association, or better known as TSA. TSA was going to expand upon and broaden what was being done before, because now there was this need for leadership development. Learning to lead in a technical world was the key, and there needed to be growth and training and opportunities in the STEM programs: science, technology, engineering, and math, because these were the students that were changing our world. My name is Eddie Slawakowski, and I have the honor and the privilege of being your keynote speaker today for the Texas TSA Virtual Conference. We are so excited to have you. Our theme this year is Leading Toward Tomorrow, because what we are learning, what we are developing, what we are creating through TSA is literally changing our world year after year. And the students of today are going to be the innovators, the inventors, the incredible leaders of tomorrow. So I'm going to focus today on leadership development, on what you can do to take your life from where you are to where you hope to one day be. I created a formula for you to get there. It's a 7-step process called the 4-minute formula. Let's learn all about that right now.
Attention, attention please. It is now time for the 1-mile run. We need all mile contestants to please make their way to the starting line.
This was it, an opportunity of a lifetime, a chance for me to actually make one of my dreams in life come true. You see, since I was a sophomore in high school, I had the dream of one day running a mile under 4 minutes. Now, these opportunities don't come by every day. For when they do, you have to seize it. For what does it take to make your life extraordinary? How do you achieve those bigger goals and dreams in your life? Well, for me, it comes down to 2 words: preparation and performance. Now, let me take you back to the year 1990. I'm in the Boston University Armory, getting ready for the biggest race of my life. Let me tell you what I learned and what happened.
Runners, take your mark.
We were off. Yeah, we jumped off the line. Everybody does, and gets off into position. Now, it's important to get off to a safe start, a good start, and to get into position. My job is to get into the second position behind my teammate, a guy named Andre Fomby. Andre was going to be what's called our rabbit in the race. Now, the rabbit's the guy who goes out to the lead and sets the pace. They only run half the race, but they run the pace you need to run evenly for a 4-minute mile. So his job is to get out to the lead. My job is to get out right behind him. Now, that's exactly what happened. So the race has begun. So it's 8 laps to the indoor track for the mile here. So do the math. 30 seconds a lap is what we have to average to be on pace. First lap is going. I'll never forget, I was running up on Andre's heels. I was yelling at him from behind saying, "Andre, pick up the pace, man. You're not going fast enough." I'll never forget what he said. He glanced back at me and he said, "Trust me, Eddie, I got this." We came around the first lap where we need to be at 30 seconds to be on pace. feels like it's slow to me, like 34 seconds. Andre brings us through in 29 seconds. Right where we need to be. So you see, I had to calm down. More importantly, I had to trust in my teammate. He had my back. He wanted to see me succeed. So that's what I did. Followed his lead. Second lap, we need to be at a minute. We're at 58 seconds. Third lap, need to be at 1 minute 30 seconds. We're at 1 minute 28 seconds. Andre's running a perfect pace, and I'm running as confidently and as comfortably as I can right behind him. Now we're coming to the halfway point, where obviously we need to be at 2 minutes to be on pace. Andre brings us through in a perfect 1:59. He steps off the track. Now it's up to the rest of the runners to take over. There are only 6 other competitors in this race. I had my eye on one guy. His name was Paul Vandergrift from William and Mary College. I had my eye on him because a week earlier, he ran 4:01. I ran 4:03. He's out there trying to do the same thing I was. So we talked it over before the race. I said, Paul, when Andre drops out, I'll take the 5th lap. If you take the 6th lap, last 2 laps, every man for himself. So he agreed. So I took over the 5th lap. Need to bring us through in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I did my job. 2 minutes, 29 seconds. I move out to lane 2. I'm going to let Paul pass me in lane 1. I'm going to get behind him and follow him. As I drift off into lane 2, I'm coming around the turn. Something catches my eye. One of my best friends, my teammate, Mark Burns, runs up on the inside of the track. As I'm passing him, he yells these words I'll never forget. Eddie, Paul's not there, man. He's not there. You're going to have to do this yourself. That's what he yelled as I passed. Paul's not there. He was hurting. He was falling back. In fact, no one was out there with me. I'm out in lane 2 in the lead. I had no idea no one was there to take over. You're going to have to do this yourself. So as we journey forth in our lives toward our own personal goals and dreams, of course we need the help of other people. Nobody can do this alone. But in every one of your journeys, there's going to come a moment where it's you and that dream you say you have. How bad do you really want it? What are you willing to do to make your life everything you hope and dream that it can become? Because this was that moment for me. I put my head down, headed back into lane 1, was going to have to take it the rest of the way by myself. And now the pain is setting in. Yeah, now it's starting to hurt. But this is why we train for this moment here. There's all the practices all morning, noon, and night. All the hard work is for this moment here. 6th lap, I'm at 3 minutes. 2 laps to go, 1 minute to beat. If I can run this last 2 laps under a minute, I can have my dream of breaking the 4-minute mile. But now my legs are getting heavier, my lungs are starting to burn, and I'm thinking to myself, Eddie, you gotta fight through this. 7th lap, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. 1 lap to go. If I can run this last lap under 30 seconds, I can have this dream. So I'm pushing through as hard as I can. I come off the final turn, start heading toward the finish line. My lungs are on fire. My legs are like lead weights. I'm thinking, Eddie, go all the way to the finish. Do not give up. Go all the way to the finish of this race. My time, 3 minutes, 58 seconds. Yes, I did it. The 169th American to break the 4-minute mile. Oh, I'll never forget that day. And what that day has informed me in my life is that sometimes our dreams in life actually do come true. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've had a lot of dreams in my life, I still do. Most of them have not come true, but this one did. So if dreams are possible, and we really believe that, how would we live our lives? And from this experience, I created a formula, a 7-step process to help people create extraordinary lives. Number 1, what do you want and why? Step 2, do you believe it can happen? Step 3, identify your team. Step 4, design the game plan. Step 5, what are you going to do when the pain hits? Step 6, when are you going to get this done? And step 7, how can you give back to the world? Those are the 7 steps to the 4-minute formula. So come along with me on this journey. Let's learn this formula and these steps so that we can create peak performance in our lives and extraordinary results. So in order to create those extraordinary results and effectively lead toward tomorrow, later in the conference, I'm going to be running a workshop taking us more in depth into the 7-step process of the 4-minute formula, showing you exactly what you need to do to take your life from where it is today to where you hope to one day be in your future. We are so excited you're here. It's going to be an incredible conference, so welcome to the Texas TSA 2021 Virtual Conference.
Thank you, Mr. Slawakowski, for that awesome address. Now, Texas TSA, we will introduce the officer candidates for the 2021-2022 school year. It is the responsibility of this office to see that the assembly is comfortable and properly welcomed, serve as doorkeeper for this organization, serve as parliamentarian for the association, arrange meeting rooms and care for association paraphernalia, be responsible for the comfort of those present at all meetings, assist officer candidates prior to and during elections, arrange entertainment, refreshments, and other details related to meeting programs, serve as chairperson of the Welfare Committee. For Sergeant at Arms, we have Caleb Hall. Thank you.
It is the duty of the office to see that our school, community, and state have a complete report of our organization's activities, prepare articles for publication, contact members to obtain news regarding the association, contact personnel in charge of other publications and provide copy conforming to their request, act as historian of the association by keeping organization publications archived, assist with planning and arranging organization exhibits, act as editor of the association publications with the responsibility of developing and publishing. For the Office of Reporter, we have Malcolm Ferguson, Hannah Ongmanchi, Gracella Bachu.
Treasurer, it is the duty of this office to keep accurate records of all funds, see that our financial obligations are met promptly, report all financial standings at each meeting, keep an accurate records of receipts and payments, obtain and present ideas and suggestions for increasing the Treasury and financing activities. For the Office of Treasurer, we have Madeline DeVries and Srimai Undavali. Thank you.
Secretary, it is the responsibility of this office to see that accurate and proper records are kept of all business and correspondence of this association, prepare and read the minutes of each meeting, count and record member votes, read correspondence and communications at meetings, keep association permit records, post notice to members pertaining to association activities, and send invitations to guests, be responsible for association correspondence, call the meetings to order in the absence of a presiding officer. For the Office of Secretary, we have Rachna Edler and Nicole Garcia. Thank you.
Vice President, it is the duty of this office to see that we always have a strong membership, a good work program, and are alert to the welfare of our organization. Assist the President, serve as the President in absence of the President, succeed the President in case of vacancy, serve as the Chairperson of the Membership and Program Committee, meet with and be responsible for all committees. For the Office of Vice President, we have Emily Dunn, Mahir Bhatia. Thank you.
The duties vested in this office are to preside at regular and special meetings of this organization, promote cooperation in carrying out the activities and work of our organization, preside at and conduct meetings according to parliamentary procedure, appoint committees and serve as ex-officer member of each except the executive committee, keep the meetings moving at an interesting pace, call upon other officers to take the chair when necessary or desirable, keep association activities progressing in a satisfactory manner, represent the association in outside activities, serve as a member of the Technology Students Association Board of Directors, or appoint a member from the Executive Committee to fulfill that duty. For the Office of President, we have Shane Johnson. Thank you. These are your candidates for state office. Voting delegates, you will vote through a website called Simply Voting. Advisors will be sent login information to distribute to you. Check the Texas TSA website and Instagram page for more information about our candidates and the voting process. That concludes our first general session of the 2021 Texas TSA State Virtual Conference. I now declare the first general session of the 2021 State Virtuals Conference adjourned.